Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lighten Up Zen Life. My name is Teresa, and I'm here with my co-host Nancy. Nancy, say hi to everyone. Everyone, say hi to Nancy.
Hello, everybody.
Well, I'm super excited, as usual, to sit with you all on another beautiful day. It's here in New York, where it's a little bit rainy, but there's a lot of growth involved with that rain, so I'm grateful. Today's podcast is how do we get what we want? And what's the difference between reality and illusion? These are fun, big topics that Nancy's going to start us off with.
Are we on the air now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The illusion. I think people do get confused when it comes to people hear the idea that we're in an illusion, in a matrix, and it's hard. The matrix is sort of like a computer program, and the illusion would be like you're a star, you're a character in the movie, and the movie is playing out a part that unfortunately most people playing out the illusion is just the opposite. It was like something took everything that was true and real and made an opposite version of it. So it would be like being in a movie that you're now in a movie that is being taught in belief systems and everything, the whole play, if you stay in that illusion, will be the opposite of what probably your spirit really wants and what you need. So the illusion is not real. It's the fantasy. It's someone else's. It was someone else's ideas, and they took everything that was real and made an opposite version to it. So when we act out this version of negativity, fear, negativity, the confusion that goes on with people and separation and all that, that's an illusion. It's not real. The illusion of separation is not real. It's people, actually, we're all one and we're going to be all one eventually. So all one means under the same love vibration. So I guess one way to put it would be the illusion would be disharmony, and the reality would be harmony, would be peace and harmony, and everyone sort of not being cloned, but doing their own thing and being on a high level doing it.
That makes sense. Nancy, what's the difference? I have two questions. The first one is, what's the difference between reality and illusion?
Well, I just said it. Reality is real, and it's like in our universe. I can't speak for everybody's universe, but in the universe that we're in, the real would be universal law. The real would be love others as you want, do unto others as you want done to you. The universal law, whatever I think I get. Those would be reality, would be everything I think I get is also in the illusion, but they don't tell you that you're going to get the negative stuff you're thinking about. It's promoting doing just the opposite of what you want to do to get everything you want in your life. So the illusion, if somebody did something negative and they were really mean to someone and they did terrible things eventually, then it probably, in many cases, it wouldn't be, it's because it's not real. It's an illusion. It's not real. What it would be is more of a lesson to learn. So it's not like held against the person forever and ever. And, in our lives, our different lives, it's what it turns out to be, a lesson that we're trying to learn. So the illusion would be making a mistake, and the reality would be whatever I learned from that would be under alignment of the higher level.
Okay.
So real is higher level of consciousness, and the illusion is below that, being negative and all the stuff below it.
So how does that fit in with phrases that are like, we create our own reality? So how does that reconcile? Is that part of like
Well,
skewed words?
we create our own reality is that I have duality, and I have the choice. I can follow the illusion and keep making the same mistakes over and over again, or believe that what I was taught was right. Anytime you have separation, you know that you're not in alignment. It automatically leads to fear and doubt and all the other disharmony and all the other stuff. So the illusion would be I'm someone hurt me, then I get to hurt them back. I need to get even, or I need to set them straight, or whatever. It's whatever goes on in the lower matrix. And where reality is, then I'm fine, I'm safe, I'm peaceful, I'm harmony. I'm not going to react to what someone else says, in illusion. It's not real. They can't tell me who I am or what I am. They can't really hurt my feelings. That's ego. Can only hurt the ego.
Yeah,
So ego is the only way we can really get hurt. So it would be someone saying something or doing something, and I get angry, and I have the right to, war is a good example. I have the right to, to punish somebody and so on. So that is an illusion. That whole thing is the illusion in the lower matrix.
That's extremely clarifying. I really personally enjoyed when you said the duality here. We have the right to choose to continue to live in the illusion and follow along with it, or to rise up out of it and live the truth of things. And that was really good. I liked that nugget a lot.
It's another way of explaining illusion too, would be like sleepwalking.
Right.
We have amnesia. People have, the masters have amnesia, and that's the only way we could have come here and made mistakes. And we were coming out of that amnesia. We're coming into an understanding of what the real truth is.
Right.
In other words, because I believe that the M's came from Christ energy, which is love. So love is not an emotion, it's a vibration. It's the vibration of the universe. And a couple weeks ago, I personally had the experience. Doesn't make it true or not true, but it makes it true for me. The experience that I had was the Aquarian age now is full blown and ready. It is the age now. We are not working towards the Aquarian age. We are solid in it. And the Aquarian age is the age of light. So where we're walking, people are having choices. A lot of people are waking up. They're having different kinds of experience. They may have learned a whole religious background, and then they might have learned that wasn't the way it really happened. And there's another answer to what happened there, and the different things that happened there. And they have, again, it's duality. I have a right to make a different kind of decision based on what I found out rather than what I was taught. A lot of things we have, if we're in the lower level of the third dimension, which is what we're getting out of, we're now in the fourth dimension, then we have to rely on what we learned, what we were taught. Most of the time people have to learn, we got to do it the same way we used to do it. We got to do what other people say. We've got to have all these different fears and uncomfortable feelings. And, you're never going to find what's right. You're never going to be with the right person. Everything I do doesn't work. Those are all parts of the belief in illusion rather than the belief in reality would be different than that. By the reality is I can change this. I can rewrite the story.
Right.
And I can rewrite it, and it will work.
Right.
And if I follow certain plans, and I follow certain the universal laws, and I follow certain things that I have learned, then it actually works. Like one simple one is if I'm getting the chatter, the negative chatter going, telling us what the future is going to be and telling us lies, pinging us with our hurts and our pains and so on. This chatter would be an illusion. It's a voice of illusion. It's not even the person. So if that were the case and I didn't want to do it, I can hum. I can actually just hum anything, any kind of song and so forth, and that chatter will disappear.
Mm-hmm.
There's things that can help us move out of the illusion and into the reality. And one term that's given a lot, and it's been given a lot for years, and that is to wake up. So the waking up process is, oh, wait a minute, I don't know if that's true or not. I don't feel the same way. I think I feel differently. That doesn't resonate with what I want in my life right now. I don't think that or someone's giving us and telling us who we are, what we are, and what we should be, and so on, and so forth. We have the right to listen to it. We have the right to do whatever it is. But we also have the right to change and alter it according to our experience.
That's right.
And, there's a lot of change. This earth is changing. I mean, there's a lot of energy coming in especially this past month of April.
Yes.
And lots and lots of shifting, lots of changing. So the world, it's going to, one thing would be, well, we need to be good people for our country. It wasn't originally set up that way. The country was for the human race, or for the people, or for whatever race that we come from. It was not that the country we were supposed to be doing the country. The country was supposed to be for us, and what we do and what we think and how we want it to be. And there's so many different variations to that, with other countries and their cultures and so forth. Not everybody's the same thing, but basically the human need, or the need of the beings here have a similar need. And that is, they want, underneath all of it, they want peace, they want, abundance, they want to feel good, they want love, they want the things that are real. And most people are acting out the illusion, or many of them are acting out the illusion, not real.
Right.
Not yet. But that's what's coming. So, but how do you even know what real is?
Exactly. Yeah.
How do you know what real is? Well, real to me is, how do I feel? Am I peaceful? Am I happy? Am I, am I just doing things that are in unity, that it's a win-win for everybody? I mean, in the higher realms of the higher realms, it's a win-win for everyone. So if I'm happy and peaceful, I think the people around me are going to be a lot better than if I'm not.
I agree with that.
I definitely don't think people want to see anyone else being really mean and awful and terrible to someone, or doing something that's hurtful, or being unkind to animals, or the animals being unkind to humans, or whatever. I don't think anybody really, there are people that may like that and feel that is part of they may call that reality. Well, my day has been people yelling and screaming at me, and I've been yelling and screaming back, and this is just my reality. It happens all the time.
Right.
Well, it can be reality in an illusion. This is my reality of the illusion I'm sitting in.
That's right.
But it doesn't necessarily mean it's the reality that I need to be in, or would rather be in.
I want to pick your brain on, you had mentioned something. So what I would notice when I was practicing being in alignment for myself was that I could feel one way on the inside, because we said, okay, how do we know that we're in touch with what's real? The feeling of peace inside, happiness, joy. It took me realizing confidence or courage was the way to maintain that internal environment, even if the outside environment or the people of the outside environment didn't agree or help me to foster that. So what is like a tip or your vantage point on that?
Actually, Teresa, that's a good question. I think that's a good question. The outside is the illusion.
Right.
So if I have a really messy, totally crazy closet in my house, and I keep piling stuff in it and keep the clothes thrown all over and everything, that is probably a signal that I have thoughts that I'm going through that I need to clean up. So the outside world only mirrors, it's just a mirror, and it mirrors the inside world.
Okay.
And if I'm in alignment with the higher beings, in the fifth dimension, and what we call God, or the divine, and the current of the divine energy, if I'm in alignment with that, I'm probably going to not want a lot of clutter or mess or whatever.
Okay, that
And
makes sense.
and it has nothing to do with right or wrong, or how a person keeps their closet or how they don't. It doesn't really have to do with that. It does show you, though, it can be a mirror. I mean, the outside is mirror. That's what I'm saying. The outside would be, how do, my country's supposed to do for me? It's supposed to do it for me. What I do is make it better or worse.
Right, with how you feel.
But we live in the country because it's where we are. I mean, whatever country we live in, whatever culture we live in, and many people are not living in safety or being, there's enough food to feed everybody. There's enough peace and harmony in the universe, and love in the universe, that nobody has to be treated in a disrespectful way. So, but people have learned, because of the illusion that we were in, the programming that was programmed by early alien races that were warlike, and continue people with greed and all kinds of misgivings of what their selfishness of what they want. And we got programmed into a lot of negative stuff. So now people are waking up. They're deciding, I don't like that. I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't like what I'm feeling. So it takes courage, like you said, it takes courage to wake up. It takes courage to make a decision and have a truth. You don't have to beat everybody over the head with your truth. You don't have to, in the Pisces age, it was an age of illusion. It was an age of suffering. And it did a pretty good job at it.
Right.
But in this age of the Aquarian age, I have choices. I can rewrite my story. I have a lot of parallel universes that are going on at the same time I am. I can even jump in a quadrant and have a quadrant jump into a parallel universe that I can even change some of the things I want to change. Yes. And it doesn't take me the rest of my life. It can be done quickly. I can have the ability to recognize and look at myself and hear myself and the words I'm saying, like we just talked about earlier before we got on, about the word need versus the word want. Need, when you program, whatever you program, you're going to get it back. It's going to come back to you.
Yes.
So it's an automatic. Nobody is exempt from it. No one is exempt from the law of attraction, and so on, that I know of. Anyway, so whatever I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. What I meant was one, but we have been programmed to say things and use words, which we talked about earlier, words that we don't even understand, much less words that are not appropriate for what we really want. They're not going to be bad or good, right or wrong necessarily, but they don't work.
Right.
So how do I know I'm in a reality? Because it works. It is a situation where it's love, it's peace, it's harmony, it's well-being, it's treating people with respect, it's treating animals with respect, it's being able to program abundance and program what you really want. That had been kept secret for eons, many, through the whole Pisces age. They didn't want anybody to know that they were creators and they could create whatever they wanted. Yes. That's the last thing the people that ran things wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, now we're in a place where we have the energy matches us being co-creators. We are co-creators. And we think somebody, people, we use deities that are well-known and wonderful beings, the angels and Christ energies and the Buddhas and everybody. And the idea is to make them a slave. Will you do this for me, do that for me, take care of this, will you do this and that? Well, there's a period of time when a parent does that. A parent energy does that. They help the person. But eventually you want the child to be strong too, right?
Yes.
I mean, you want them to be able to learn and know that how to do it themselves. Well, that is the age of Aquarius, I believe, is that it wants us. It's the Buddhists that have their hands over their, or the monkeys. They're like statues, and you can get them in stores where they have their hands over their eyes, their ears, and their mouth. And the same thing with the monkeys, the eyes, the ears, and the mouth, because they speak no evil, they see no evil, and they don't do the evil. So the idea is to follow universal law in this age, but people don't, it's not like we just had 120, whether it was 250,000 years of doing the wrong thing. So it takes a practice. It takes practice to say the word want before you say the word need. But you're going to probably say the word need because you see it in loss. If whatever you're talking about isn't there in front of your eyes or not enough of it, it automatically spells out loss. It spells out fear. And we've had many, many eons of time of being in loss and fear and without. So the fact that we believe in that stronger than we believe in what you can have and the unseen, because it takes believing in the faith and trust in the unseen first. And it takes, but we have learned to trust the have-nots, the do-nots, the want-nots, more than we trust. The person who believes in the disease stronger and they believe in the healing is going to have a problem. I mean, they're going to, whatever they think is going to win out, and until they change it, they change it. So, of course, if you've got a group of pharmacies and different things that are, a lot of the stuff is done so that people stay sick. And they're not going to tell you to change your idea, change your way of thinking. They're going to say, oh, well, here's how you cope with it.
That's
if
right.
you cope with it, you agree to it.
Yeah.
Say no.
Say no. Say no to polio. Say no.
No, I mean, say whatever you want, but I told my body, I'm all for this Aquarian age. I told my body, I got good news for you, body. I've got great news. You don't have to overwork anymore. Organs, you don't have to be sick anymore. We are not attracting any more disease. We're not attracting any more imbalance, because that's what disease is. It's lack of balance. My energy, I will do my part to keep my energy as balanced as I can and in a higher level, in my thoughts and thinking and my words to the higher level.
Yes.
And that makes me happy, because somehow by doing that, oh my God, something happened and I didn't know they were going to do that. Someone said something nice. I didn't ask for that, but look what they're doing. They're being so nice to me. When you are in those states of being, it works.
That's right.
So it's not about not working, good, bad, right or wrong, not work. It's not about good, bad, right or wrong. The country's doing the right thing. No, they're doing the wrong thing. The person's doing the wrong thing, the right thing. The person's doing, whatever, this or that. Or they were mean to me, and I'm going to, really hurt my feelings, and I'm going to lower my energy for the next 20 years just because someone said something mean to me. I'm sorry. That doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It works on what its intent to do is to make the person stay in a lower level. That works. Those chatter voices that come in and they don't even know they're not you, and they tell you all the stuff and you listen to them. They rehearse you. They tell you all the bad stuff, and they ping you, and they either make you feel guilty or they make you feel bad about something else or someone else. Those voices are not you. And they're not me.
That's
they
right.
are voices that are there to interrogate, to create problems for me.
Yeah.
So when I console with them, oh my God, I was in such a bad mood today because the person did this, and and they rehearse you and what you're going to say to them, how you're going to handle it, and they make it real. So there's a real and illusion area, and then there's a real and the illusion area is not real at all. It's a fake, it's a lie. Anything that's in the illusion area that we think it's real is not permanent. It's not eternal. In the higher levels, there's many different ways to handle something. We're in multiple universes. There's so many, it's unlimited. It's got so many different ways of handling things that I don't even think about, I'm on ground level. I got too much to think about here. I got to be thinking till the cows come home. Well, I'm not doing myself any favor by overthinking. No one is.
That's right.
And I don't do that anymore. I don't. I mean, I would rather be silent and go into meditation and not do that, because most of thinking is coming from those negative voices.
That's right.
And then we follow it. We worship them. We worship the people who are doing the wrong things. We do all kinds of stuff. Well, that's because we were in a false matrix through the whole Pisces age, which was almost 25,000 years.
Yeah.
So okay. So we pick up some bad habits on the way. We even the ones that have M's on their hand and they are from the Christ energy that went into amnesia, so they wouldn't remember the mistakes they did. Even we're all having our set of changes and switching that we have to do. That's now, right. We came from that level. So what we're doing is remembering and trying to get stronger in it and become more and more of it. And again, why? Because we're going to demonstrate it. Why? Because there are so many beings on this planet never had it to begin with. We came from it, but they didn't. Yeah. Well, we came from Christ energy, and we didn't understand the negative energy, the lower levels. So we learned the lower levels, and they're trying to learn the higher levels, but we can't. How do you know something until you know it? How do you know that? You shouldn't have got me started on this.
I'm so excited right now. You're on a roll.
How do you know? How can you possibly know that you are, by everything we were taught in the negative illusion, that you are a creator with so much knowledge and strength inside you? You have so much power inside of you that you can create a death. You can create a mirror. That you can create diamond, or pull the diamonds out of the gems and make jewelry like you make jewelry. I mean, where did that come from? Oh, wow, there must be a part of me that's not seen here. There must be a part of me. I'm not worthy to do that. I'm not worthy to get energy to make money and gold. You have to earn gold and people hand it out. You got to earn money and people hand it out, or they inherit it, or somehow it's got to come from somewhere else. Where did it originally come from? I had to laugh. I remember this. My teacher, Primrod, he said one time, people have such interesting ways of thinking. He said one of them is women who, and I've come across this many times, women are afraid to put their purse on the floor because it's being disrespectful to the money, or disrespectful. And then he goes, where did gold come from? Where did the trees and all the beautiful flowers come out of the ground? Excuse me? Again, we have all these preconceived ideas that limit us or create more confusion and so on. But what brings the gold in and what brings the money in the purse is the person's faith and trust that they are creators and co-creators. And if the universe, it's the universe. There was a wonderful, wonderful thing. For one thing, the God, the divine, the incredible being, source, put itself in the breath. For one thing, that is just to me ingenious and just beyond the greatest gift. And then there's another gift that was planted inside of all of us that we're not aware of. It made us co-creators. It made us creator that inside me, I have the power to, if I have faith and trust, and if I have I use the right clarity on what I really want and so on, and it's for my highest good, the universe has to give it to me. It's already inside me. It's already there. Where did the idea of a desk come from? Who built a desk? Who was the first one that built fire? Who's the first one that came up with this? It didn't come from outside. It came from inside.
Right.
Inside. And now, in this age, we have this age, this incredible age of light that's trying to get people to understand, and all of us, even the ones that are in PIMS that are coming back to it, they're trying to get us to understand it's got to come inside first to go outside.
That's right.
So in other words, the old thing is, well, if you were going to order something from a restaurant, you would have an idea of what you wanted. So you called up to the door, or you're sitting at the restaurant, and the person asks you, what do you want for food? And I don't know. You're not going to get it until you get clear enough that you're asking for what you want.
Yeah, you don't want to have an appetite for sushi and then go to an Italian restaurant. It's not going to work.
Well, either way, but make the best of it. But one way or another, you got to tell someone what you really, you got to be clear enough. Well, I want a hamburger, or I want, sushi, or I want whatever. But that's, that's only part of it. Then you have to, how badly do you want? You want someone just to hand it over? And if you're going to learn to be a co-creator, and that you can create anything inside you, that you are you are a creator yourself. If you're going to learn that lesson, you're going to do it. You're going to have faith and trust. You don't have to figure out how it's going to happen. The universe will be happy to do that. It's a current of energy of abundance that you just tap into, and it brings whatever you want that you felt inside. But you got to have faith and trust that that's what's going to happen.
That's right.
And then if you know that you created it, and you're the one who created it, and you're the one who made that happen, along with the universe, of course. If you and the universe worked in tandem and came together, and you were responsible for getting what you wanted, and you created it out of nowhere, which is not the case. It's there's a whole energy that is where it comes from. But you tapped into it and got it look like out of nowhere, and you did that. Isn't that the child who's growing up?
Yes. Yes.
Isn't that the child that the parent loves so much that it wanted them to be safe and not have to rely on unstable things? Isn't that the answer for a lot of this? If we didn't have to put our faith and trust, all of our faith and trust in our lives in someone's hands that didn't care?
Yeah, absolutely. It would
Isn't it amazing that breath, first of all, with the breath, without the breath and God being in the breath, it's life and so on, you can connect. And then it's put inside me. We were the human race, and a lot of beings and a lot of different groups and throughout the universe that are not what we call, just the human race. We're taught they were nothing. They were slaves. They got enslaved. Illusion is slavery.
That's right.
One thing you can tell, if you're in a slavery, codependent illusion way, you're in illusion. Because the reality never treats you that way. It never belittles you. It never puts you in a bad space, ever.
Right.
It never says, I don't love you. It's never unconditional in its love. It never has and tells you if there's something that needs to change or alter, it'll tell you what the solution is. It won't sit there and have you go through pain after pain after pain and the negative side of it over and over again. That's not the nature of it. It doesn't do that because it's not its nature. I heard someone who was close to me said they were really upset with some things that were going on, and they said, "Well, I know how to do this. I always followed the line," and they did. I mean, they always followed the light, and so on. And I could have done it differently. Everyone else was doing it differently, and I didn't do that. I stayed honest. I stayed this and that, and I could do that. I said, "Yes, you have the knowledge to make those mistakes. You have the knowledge to do those things, but it's not you."
That's right.
And that's why a robot, the AIs that are coming up in our future, very strong. I keep saying the same thing. They have intelligence. They can go through and write your resume in minutes. I mean, seconds, I guess. They can sit there and put a lot of things together. They can have knowledge and they can make. Now they got robots that actually can do things that they mimic the behaviors, the exact behaviors of someone. But at the same time, they'll never have heart.
That's right.
They'll never have heart. The heart is the difference that separates. That's the crown of creation. It is the difference that separates the intellectual world and the thinking and thinking. If you come from your heart, you won't be thinking. You'll be in the knowing rather than a guessing or believing.
Yes. Yeah.
So, did I answer your question?
You did, but don't be worried, Nancy. I have plenty more questions. I'm excited because I have more. Like, I don't even know what question to ask first because I have multiple. And if anybody else is on here who does have questions too, we're clearly on fire today, so I'm loving it. One thing I wanted to mention is the power of words. Things that I learned, like the word safe is a great example, because safe, although, get home safe, it's empowering that you get home safe, but it's also empowering to be safe from something or someone. So, saying have an enjoyable ride home would be getting the same goal, but not.
You practice this kind of thing with words. Words can go beyond it. It's, if you come from your heart, it doesn't even rely on words most of the time. There's a feeling that goes with it and so on. But it takes practice. It takes practice not to say things the old way. The first thing is, in the Pisces age, so many things can happen. Well, now even things can happen and so on, but so many things happen that you said that because it was true. There was something that could very well take place, and it was dark had the upper hand during that age. I think it had one age, the Pisces age, to do its point. So we did more ritual stuff. We did that kind of thing. We wish people, wish things, what we thought they needed, and so on and so forth. In this age of Aquarius, it's like you said, have an enjoyable ride home.
Right.
Have, or just know that they're going to be, that they're fine. Yeah. Thank you for coming. Love you. Bye. I don't know.
The idea behind me bringing up the words is the positivity that comes in the words, that the words themselves have vibration.
You've got to understand the words that you're using.
Exactly. And
you've got to become aware. And that's why, Teresa, you know how I am about too much thinking, overthinking things.
Yes.
And the reason is you're going to screw up. You're going to mess up, or you're more likely to mess up with many, 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 many words than you will in the simplicity of just saying it from your heart. What do you want to say?
Yeah, I agree.
Because your chances of messing up or saying something sideways or not saying it in the right direction or getting lost, people get tired and they fall asleep while you're saying it.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone fell asleep when I went through that dissertation, but I would be not as likely because I came from the heart as it would have been if I came from my head.
Nobody went to sleep during that. We were clinging to your words as they sped out of your mouth. It was great.
But there's a difference because it's in the moment. It's in the moment. It's in the moment. If it's in the moment, when you think and when you go through thinking, you're in the past.
Right.
And you're trying to push it into the future.
Yes. Yes. And then you're recreating
what you don't want. On and on and on. People do that all the time, or they use words, like the news, this or that. Did they tell the truth or did they lie? Did they do this or did they do? How about is that I'm going to be okay no matter what they do?
Yes. Yes.
What if so-and-so, we're supposed to get money for something and it didn't come in, or something happened and they took it or something? Is there any reason why I can't, if I can manifest myself, if I can really, really have faith and trust that that same amount of money will come in a different way? I don't care which way it comes in. I just care that I get it.
Right.
I mean, most people, right? I mean, it's more important that I get it than trying to figure out, the right or wrong. Or, I don't, as long as it's in universal law, I'm not saying, criminal work or whatever. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying the opposite. If you do that, you won't get it. I know you won't get it. But,
right.
It's just, those words are important. I love you. Okay. I love you.
I love you
So,
too.
I love you too. And so, do people really know what that means? How many people do you know that know unconditional love, really know unconditional love that doesn't have any agenda attached to it? Don't answer me.
Oh, I know. I'm when you said that.
Don't answer me for that. I'm not asking. I'm asking rhetorically.
I know.
I'm not asking a question. People are going to learn unconditional love. When they learn unconditional love, that means we can have a conversation and disagree and agree without us being upset and angry at each other, because we're all so secure within ourselves and what we can create and we can do, that we don't have to steal someone else's energy to prove ourselves right or to prove them right or wrong.
Worthy. Well, what I was going to say is every time we've had that conversation between us, it's so profound. Every time you sit and actually think about, do I really know what unconditional love is? Or how many people in my life know what unconditional love is? And it's a startling reality. And it brings you closer to Christ consciousness, I think, because you realize how meaningful it is. And the more experience you have with unconditional love, the more you realize I don't actually want conditions, and it changes you in a positive way.
It's the highest of all loves, because it doesn't rest on anyone or anything other than the mere fact. See, love, people think love is an emotion. And we've been taught it's an emotion, and so on. And somehow somebody has to do something spectacular. Someone has to be in alignment with my idea and my focus and the way I think and my profiling and this and that. And then if they really do a good job at it, I love them. If they really do a good job at it, I'll have gratitude. People use the word love. Gratitude for me, and I'm going to go back to love, but gratitude is when you know it was a gift, and it is a highly great, wonderful gift, and you recognize it being a gift from the source and really being a gift, that you have what you have and all the good things you have. When you recognize that, to me, that's gratitude.
Right.
But love is not emotion. It is a vibration. So is anger a vibration. So all these things are vibration.
Yes, yes.
I'm a vibration. So what we have to do, if you want, to, how do we get what we create? We have to, the whole idea is to understand magnets. If you don't have magnets at home, go get a couple magnets and play with them and see what, and you can learn. I have magnets, and I used to use them in my readings a lot, because I wanted people to see if you have a negative thought and a positive thought, how it pushes it away. And the magnets will show you that.
Right.
Because we're magnets. We're magnetism. And so when I am a magnet, and part of me, like you were saying, part of me is sitting there going, I don't think I can do this. I've got blocks. I think money's bad. But I need it, so I want it. But when you have all the conflict, that is the magnet going back and forth trying to connect, but it's not connecting. But when you have the same magnetism that of whatever you're trying to bring forth, if it matches the vibration, if those two vibrations match in the wonderful source of creation and so on, when they match, you get it.
That's right. That's coherence. Absolutely.
So it's not about having a problem, that I don't deserve it. The problem is, if I think I don't deserve it on any level, the magnet's not going to magnetize it to me until I clean that up.
Or that it's even hard to get,
And all I have to do to clean it up is change my mind.
Yeah. And that's
literally
a good thing.
I went in and when I was meditating on, I guess yesterday or Sunday, I don't know, yesterday or someday, I'm sitting there going, subconscious, I'm so glad that you're into flexibility now. That you're willing to change what it's a computer that's sitting there. It's a computer. Subconscious is our grand computer. It knows everything we've ever programmed, and it'll go, if I don't direct it, it's going to direct it for me. The computer's going to run its own. It's going to start running files that I don't want.
Right.
Well, they can't run files I don't want if they're not there.
Right. That's true.
So if I get rid of them and I let go, they're not there.
And then,
So if I really want to get my subconscious, if I really want to get their attention, all I have to do is ask the question, why am I so beautiful? Why am I so smart? Why am I always saying the right words? Why am I doing this? Because the subconscious has to answer the question. So it will look for ways to get it. So yes, there's so many people, Joe Dispenza. I mean, there's so many people doing really wonderful work on YouTube and different places and teaching this. Abraham Hicks, people going on, and I could go on the list for a long time. They're teaching us how to say things, do things, and use our intelligence in a way that works for us, not against us. We don't have to have duality. At some point in my life, I don't need to know good and bad. I don't need to have the bad to show me what the good is. But when I'm looking for my problems, if I'm blocked on something, then I need to understand sometimes I need to understand what that is. Why am I blocked? What's blocking me? What's my thought system that's blocking me? What did I learn that's blocking me? How do I feel that it's not in alignment with what I really need and want? And I'm saying need on purpose there.
And so there's another question here, Nancy. It's, I work in sales, and it's a case by case basis. How do I develop a mindset that makes me comfortable receiving money in sales? Like, the previous belief is it's difficult for me to get a sale, so I haven't been doing good financially. How do I flip that narrative around?
That's a good question. That's a good question for sure. But anyway, I'm going to use myself as an example, and hopefully I'll answer the question as I go.
Okay.
I was hired by Magic Software. I didn't know anything about computers and writing. This time, people today know 20,000 things better than more on the whole tech thing that I did when I started working for them. But they hired me to be a salesperson, to go in and be inside, but I was so good at it that they ended up wanting me to go to, I did all their trade shows. So what happened was the first day that I went to I'll try to make this fast. The first day that I went to the first trade show, I'll remember, and all of the people that were supposed to support me went down and were gone. And they went through doing, looking at all the new software and all that stuff. And they left me by myself. So I'm sitting there going, oh my God, I can't do this. This is not going to work. But I knew, I got to the point, I made an issue to get to the point where I knew who I was talking to. I knew if I were talking to a tech person, if I were talking to the boss, if I were talking to someone who worked there or whatever, I could grasp. And I made it my business to learn how you will need my product so well, and what the product can do, and how much you may be really surprised how incredible this thing's going to be for you. I could pin it to the person's needs and so forth. So who asked this question, I get the feeling just by your question, I get the feeling you can ask them if it's true or not. I think they're pretty intuitive.
Yes.
And I think they're going to be able to sell. You can't sell something you don't believe in very well if you're like us, but I think they're going to see and open up their heart, and they're going to see that there's a need for whatever they are selling, and there's a need for it, and how that need's going to fill in to that, whoever they're talking to.
Yeah. I think that you hit the nail on the head too, without, the way you said, first it was identifying who could benefit from your product, but also that you can't sell something that you don't believe in, which parallels along with, if you work for a company you don't feel good working at, that can also sway the results that you're experiencing.
So you can let's say that's the case, Teresa. So here's another, offshoot to that whole thing, in my opinion. I can go to the higher level, the fifth dimension and higher level, and ask for the solution to how to make this work. Okay. And find out what the higher beings are telling me to make this job work. I can ask go to the higher place and ask for something, where can I work where, I see the fit, that I fit well and very successful. Now, the word success, I don't know that everyone agrees with me on this, but I know personally, I think I know the definition of success. To me, success means easy. So to be successful, and it comes easily to me, it just comes out of my mouth. I have the right thing to do. I have the right approach. I have something that's I bring in the right people. When you're selling a house, as an example, you only need one person to buy the house.
Yes.
How many times they show it depends. If somebody could walk in, the first person walks in there, goes, "Oh God, I have been looking for this all my," you just, the universe pulls the right person to you.
That's right. That's right.
They pull the right person to you, and they pull the right people to you, and if you go to the higher level, they will literally, they being the higher level, will literally give you it'll be easy.
That's right.
And if it's not easy, it'll show you how to have the solution. So if you want to stay with a company in their product, even if you don't know, believe in it, there's, why not? Is there something that they're doing that's not legal? Is there something that isn't a pack? Or is it just because I'm a newbie, I'm a new person and I don't know anything about it, and I don't know, so I feel insecure, so I'm not sure that I can sell something I don't know. All these things are correctable.
Yes, absolutely.
They're all, I remember just going into my boss on the same story and said, they all left me. And he took care of that, because they weren't supposed to leave me. I was supposed to do the introduction and then give them to the person that had all the tech idea. And then I learned from that is I'm going to learn as much as I can on the tech side too. So that way I don't get left. And if they go out to lunch, that's fine. You go to lunch, I'll be fine.
Yes, exactly. I'm the same way. One thing that we were talking about, Nancy, is like with say manifesting, and it is an example, and I think this kind of parallels with the question because they're aiming to manifest money. The role of clarity in how we speak, how we see things, how we move, and how clarity impacts our vibration. Is there insight to that?
Teresa, I'm interrupting you again. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, I'd like you to take over.
That's because I'm jumping. I know what you're
Yeah,
saying.
I got you.
Okay. But anyway, people want money. Most people, not everybody. And there are people that never have enough. It's greed. They can never have enough. No matter how much it is, they've got to have more. That's a control thing. That's a thing that is a different story. But most people that want money want freedom.
Right.
They want to be able to pay their bills. They want to be able to buy what they want. They want to be able to travel if they want to. They want to be able to share it if they want to. They want to be able to give it to someone else if they want to. They want freedom.
Yes.
And in that freedom, they also want where I think more and more. I mean, this came to my idea. I mean, honestly, it came to my idea because of all the different politics going on. Don't you want someone that can't take it away?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm the list of freedom. Something where I'm stable. I mean, stability is the answer to that, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So stability, you want freedom and stability.
Yes.
And you want opportunity to explore.
Yes.
Or to do fun things with it, or to give yourself fun. Or if you enjoy football, you want to be able to go to the games, or whatever the case might be.
Yes.
And it gives you, does what you have and what the money you're receiving or the money you have, does that allow you to take care of your kids or feed your kids and do this and do that? Well, you can't feed the kids, okay, if there's no food in the grocery stores, right? So they send out fear on that level. We'll be without eggs. We'll be without all these different things, or there's not enough food. There's enough food to feed everybody in the world, but there's not enough food or whatever. So then I need to program. I need to go to the higher levels and ask what the solution is, so I will survive no matter what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I need to build my faith and trust, and I need to build my experience of magnetism to my being able to have all those things I mentioned, the freedom, the stability, blah blah blah, all that, and I need to have it in whatever way, any way I need it or not want it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, if you have an obstacle, get rid of the obstacle.
What obstacle?
And have it anyway, because the part that is not the same as the inside is not the same as the outside. The outside is limited.
Mm-hmm.
The inside isn't.
That's right.
It can come up with innumerable opportunities,
endless,
that have nothing to do, and it's not on the outside yet.
Right. Absolutely. That was really invigorating. I'm so glad I was here for that. Does anybody have questions for Nancy before we decide to pack up this week's episode? And I'm just waiting for their questions and making sure that all mine have been answered too. Weeks, clear. I mentioned that. We did that. A lot of these questions that I had down, you just answered, which I figured that would be the case. I have a question. How are we able to be convinced of falling into this illusion? I know that we had amnesia, but how did the spell kind of get cast over us?
One way is there were beings that came to the earth and then created the human being and created it into a slavery, because it was going on in the universe anyway. It was going on in the universe that is the illusion universe. Mm-hmm. Not the real. If you want to get if you're having problems with someone and you want to get peace and harmony, ask for something nice to happen between you. That's a very powerful prayer. But the other thing is, ask for you to be your real self and them to be their real self. That helps too.
Absolutely.
So anyway, how do you get to the point where you have to understand, eventually you're going to have to understand that the outside is only a mirror. Mm-hmm. The inside is the creator. Right. The inside is the universe. The inside is the idea that you get anything you need or want. Eventually it becomes automatic if you do it well enough, and you keep doing it and practice it and believing it and building your faith and trust and understanding of it. All you have to do is think, and it does it for you. Yes. I mean, that's what happened to me when I had that bliss stuff going on. I mean, all I had to do is think. It was so much fun. All I did is think, I really would like to have a hot dog, and somebody would be walking in my office, bring me a hot dog. And I'm not saying that because I wanted someone to slave and bring me everything, wait
it's just
on me.
How it happened.
I'm not saying that. They were just teaching me that when you have faith and trust, that a lot of things will be given or done or helped you. It'll be easy. Let's say it that way.
Yes.
And then I'm not saying to have anybody wait on me, but. I was surprised.
Trust is definitely the answer. I feel like the more you trust the truth, the energy source, the path illuminates.
You have to have trust, intent, and you have to have feelings about it.
Yes.
Your intent is, if you want money and you want to do it because you want to prove something to someone, and look at me, look how important I am, look how smart I am, and so on. If you're doing it from that level rather than from a healthier level, then it's not going. The God, the highest source, is not going to. If it's coming from ego, it's not going to answer the ego and empower the ego.
Yes, I agree.
It won't do it. It will. It absolutely, and you'll be glad it doesn't.
Right, because it's not going to concede to the lower.
So if you have this where if you're coming with an intent, I think one way. I know we got to go, but I think one way to do this. It's not just one way, but another way to do this. Find out, get a feeling what you think your destiny is.
Okay.
And then use your destiny as a pivot point for manifesting.
Yes. asking the
Like
higher
if my destiny is to bring light, you know, to help people light up or be kind to each other. Let's say my destiny is whatever it is. Then I would like the money and the freedom so that I can be stable and that it'll give me time to help people, you know, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that wasn't a very good example, but same thing. If whatever your destiny is, you need the abundance to make your life easy so you can do more of it or do it or show the example of it.
Absolutely. And it's our birthright, and it is a positive aspect of our life, and our relationship to it matters how we receive or not receive it. So total sense there.
Yeah.
I don't have any more questions from anybody who's been watching along with us, and I myself am out of questions. So it seems like this podcast is a wrap, Nancy. You did phenomenal. Thank you so much for all your wisdom and clarity, and this was fun, and I can't wait to share it, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have an abundant day.
And a very abundant day.
Bye-bye.